contribute essays to this publication.
Some people tend to exhibit a certain pride on what EIT has done, building up innovation communities in 2 years. It is ridiculous to be proud of that. You know why? In the same time we have built Facebook and Twitter. And we're still missing the boat as Europe.
We do not have adequate systems which, in a sense, put pressure on the people with power and money throughout our public services and systems to follow what we know about what works, to adopt, to spread the best examples.
We have no shortage of recommendations. We have no shortage of reflection group, white papers, green papers, any color papers. Recommendation is there. What to do is there, but the action is not there. The action is lacking. So this just do it mentality is something that we could improve on in Europe.
Those who lack those foundation skills, they are 2.5 times as likely to be unemployed. They are likely to become a liability for society, and that's particularly costly for Europe. You know, United States, they can tolerate a much larger pool of poorly qualified people because they don't have the social costs associated with this. But for Europe, it is very costly. And finally, people don't have capital income. So basically, that shows you just how significant the impact of that low trial of poor performers is in current adult populations.
3 actions. Change education, back to what Andreas has said. Put entrepreneurship really in the heart of everything that the EU is doing. And 3, simplify and make the programs much more flexible.
We have good scientific results. We have journal papers. We have innovations, PhDs, patents. As Mr. Schleicher was mentioning, we are good at creating this human capital. But then in the practice, when we look at the number of startups, if we look even worse at the startups that have matured into global leaders, they don't exist. Our global leaders are companies that were funded, decades ago, like Siemens or Nokia or guys like this.
We need to move to a circular society. And in fact, why is a linear society so successful? Because we've succeeded to put an indicator in place that calculates linear consumption, extraction and emission, that's GDP. So we need to move beyond GDP, so also to capture quality of life. Because that's actually what we are all after. So if we have good lifestyles and we feel happy, that's the thing that really counts.
People don't know very much about what Lisbon Agenda is about, how to measure it, how to succeed or not. And this is a serious issue, especially if you link this issue with the lack, according to several people, of a democratic debate about where we as Europe want to go.
It's so important when you look, whether you look at energy or whether you look at the silver economy, that this isn't just about what we do inside Europe, but this is also about how we export and how we look beyond the European borders. And too much of our conversations get trapped into what's happening internally.
All of this has a very, very simple message at its core, which is a very old one for Europe, as I said earlier. And essentially it's about evolution. If you can internalize systems of evolution, multiplication, creativity, selection and growth, you don't need to have evolution becoming something which happens to you, and it's always much more painful in the long run if evolution happens to you rather than being something you manage and control yourself.